next thing I'd like to talk about is the unique issues of people who have moved out of the house. You know, maybe they've just graduated high school and they either have their first job or they're in college, and they're essentially independent from their parents in certain ways, but in other ways, you know, a lot of people at that age may still come live at home, or may, you know, still be in the process of figuring out if they're going to live with their parents, or, you know, how that's all going to go. And it's an important time because, you know, I always tell people that the sooner you can start dealing with this, the better, for a lot of reasons, not just emotionally, but, you know, physically. There's reasons to start your transition as soon as possible. So with these people who are at that sort of young adult stage, you know, earlier we were talking about teenagers, what do you think are the unique issues that these college-aged, you know, young adults would be facing?
Well, one of the things that I think you've experienced from all of the people that you've had contact with, and what I think from my experience as well, is that a big issue is thinking that you can predict how people in your life will respond. So I think our shared consensus on this is, don't be a mind reader.
Yeah.
Don't assume that because someone has been your best friend all your life and you're going to the same college together, that that person is going to go through this seamlessly with you. And don't think, on the other hand, that someone who you've written off and assumed that because of their age or their religion would never be able to understand this isn't willing to really give you the benefit of the doubt and might become your very most important ally. So that's really my advice, is don't ever assume that people are going to respond in a predictable way.
Yeah,
it just simply isn't that way.
It is really interesting. I recently had a high school reunion, and two people who are very conservative, who I haven't had contact with since high school, contacted me, and both are very religious, but were very accepting of my situation. And so you can't just assume because somebody's religious or because they seem conservative, or maybe they've said something about trans issues in front of you. You know, I had a couple of people who would say something like, oh, I can't believe those people, and I was afraid of what they would say, you know, when they didn't know that I was dealing with that. And in a lot of cases, you know, when it's somebody they know, then it changes how they feel about things.